there a way that could be stockpiled in case they wanted to have a concrete plant up there or a gravel business? Now you've got all this waste rock up there. Is that something that would be feasible reuse when mining is done?
It's got potential, yes.
The part about that, though, is it sure would be nice, I mean, you know, we're talking about a huge land disturbance, right? We all know, living in this county, that we ship rock out of this county every day. We've got right now a lot of little land disturbances.
Yes.
So if this were to go forward and we had this large land disturbance, it would be so nice if we were able to, quote unquote, maximize the gain of the disturbance by getting access to that usable rock, because surely there will be some of that, whether it be glacial till, whether it be some of the mining byproduct, you know, and I'm not exactly sure what that's gonna look like, but quite frankly, we really lack gravel. And I sit here as a town chair and can tell you that every town in this county needs gravel. We get to the point where we get tired of looking at all our little pock marks around this northern part of this county, these small gravel pits. But how would we be able to possibly access, could we possibly access that even during mining operations? How could we potentially add, what type of, based on what you're seeing in your, you know, core samples, is there a product up there that might be able to be used?
There is a product that can be used. It is gonna be a very hard rock. We're looking at drilling and blasting it as being a way to set the first stage of excavation so the shovels can actually remove parts of it. In that scenario of drilling and blasting, you are going to get a very broad spectrum of size distributions. Anywhere from the gravel size you're looking for up to tabletop size. You would like to break it up finer than that.
Can it be crushed?
Pardon me?
Can it be crushed?
Yes, it can be crushed. It can be, that's correct. In fact, they do a lot of that for road maintenance in the northern Minnesota range, where they actually take their core ore and crush it up for road dressings.
See, and we have really a fairly large need for that now. You know, how could we possibly, if again, if this disturbance goes forward, how do we potentially maximize the product from this land disturbance? And would there be a way to engineer access during the mining operation? And one of the things I think about that's a quarter, you know, that would be difficult would be personnel trained to come on the property. In other words, if my town, I've got one town employee, if my town employee needs some gravel, he drives up there and he gets some gravel, he would have to be trained to come on site,
You'd have to be.
right? And there's really no
certified.
exemptions for that, correct? There would be no way to skirt that at all. In other words, we couldn't have something happening over here, gravel crushing and access to a pile while you guys are actually operating.
If it can't, you can crush it, you can have access, but he has to be trained by IRSHA standards to be on site. If you're crushing or outside of our permitted boundaries, then you're covered by OSHA or whoever else is covering the county now.
You know, we've got an MSHA guy here. Dale,
Yes,
did you want to add to that?
I would like to.
Yeah.
And that was the other point, is it's not only the person, it's gotta be the equipment as well. I
So
mean,
if you don't have a backup alarm, you get a violation.
Dale's from MSHA, and so he may have something to add to this.
Yes, I'm retired with MSHA, and, you know, like you said, one truck coming into the pit, if that's the active mine area, they ain't gonna fly. But, that does go on, US Steel and the other guys up there, they'll be the inactive party, they're not doing anything. Yeah, they'll haul a big crushing crew in there, and crush up 30, 40, 50,000 square yards, gravel, stockpile it, get all their equipment out of there, and get their trucks in there, but they're all trained. Everything you've got for safety, you've gotta have it, your glasses, steel-toed boots, a paper saying that you are MSHA certified, that you've been, you went through the schooling, and it's, they don't want, MSHA does not want the hard rock miners like that, G-Tech, doing their required jobs and tasks, and another crew coming in and setting up next to them. I think that would never work. I know it.
So it would have to be, if there was rock there that needed to be crushed, it would have to be an inactive part of the mine site?
Yes, and it would be nowhere near what the hard rock miners are doing, the real miners.
Now,